Hi guys, welcome back. And to be honest, I don't know how today's video is going to turn out because I've got a few things to do down at the camp for some overnighters, so I'll be odd jobbing on down there and just see how things go really. It's another damp day in the UK. I mean, we've had some glorious weather recently, but at the minute it's just been raining. But I thought, I don't know, I might have a chat about the world events. You know, all the issues that have been going on. Sorry guys. Especially with the stuff in America, Jesus. I mean, let's face it, with George Floyd's being essentially murdered, or shall we say, an public execution, because that copper was judge, jury and executioner. You know, he'd made a decision. Oh, he didn't even know, looked like he knew he was fucking born, to be honest with you. But yeah, to watch a man die in public like that in front of everybody was just ridiculous. You know, but I've been thinking about it, the reaction from that. I mean, that police officer should get everything that's coming to him, plus his colleagues as well, really, just to let that happen. But I think the follow-on reaction from people, I think it's shown the worst and the best in humanity, to be honest with you, because you have people that are passionate, don't want to protest against a system that's corrupt and basically broken, and they do it the right way, the peaceful way, you know, expressing their views, not destroying other people's lives or anything like that. They are out in the streets, they're doing it respectively, respecting other people's properties, you know, respecting the police and the system, because I think a lot of people know that if you kick against the system kicks back harder. Yeah, but you saw these people out there, you know, voicing their opinions in a democratic way, in there and that. And then you see the other side of that, where people have taken advantage of a man's death by looting, by using their violence. So people have gone out and trying to get their own personal gains by stealing handbags and shoes and trainers, and people have used it as an excuse to allow their own anger, their own violence to come out, you know, their own anger to come out and express it in violent ways. I mean, extreme violent ways. It's ridiculous what I've seen on the internet. But then there's the other side of the fence. So you've got the establishment side of the fence, and once again it's showing the best and the worst of people. I've seen, actually, funny enough, yesterday I was looking at a video and I watched, it was in the States, and there was a group, I mean it was a big group of riot police were walking towards, obviously, the designated location where they were going to stop the protesters and all that. But there was a man that was in the middle of it. I don't know what he was doing. It looks like he was talking to them or trying to hand them something. And the next thing you know, the officers involved just pushed him out of the way. Just pushed him, and he went flying backwards. He hit the ground. I mean, he was unconscious when he hit the ground. So the next thing you know, so officers just walked past him, and you saw in the video this guy was bleeding, and you saw the pools of blood on the ground, and they just ignored him. 12 officers must have walked past him, and then all of a sudden somebody decided to do something, and after then the video cut off because the police decided to tell the person that was filming to switch it off. But I think the police said they said he tripped. Oh, you see the thing behind me, the shelter. So they said he tripped, and quite clearly he was pushed. So that side of it. But then again, you saw people, officers, that walked with the protesters, that took off the riot gear, walked with them. There's officers in riot gear that took a knee to stand in solidarity with a corrupt system. So yeah, so there's both sides of the fence there. You saw the good and bad in people. And I think we forget sometimes that with everything that's gone on, people are finally now cracking under the pressure of race, social and economical problems, and this is what happens. I think the establishment has finally divided and conquered everybody, because very few people are in solidarity over anything. Like I say, when it comes to race, sexuality and all that, you know, keeping people separated and actually voicing a view to say that actually we're one race and we're just the human race. But that's forgotten. I get lost in the mire because people are oppressed, people are taken advantage of, people, you know, I kept trodden down. And finally, I think that the powder keg's gone up, where this might have been the final straw, and writing could keep going on and on and on until something gets done. But whether it does, we don't know. Because like I said, if the system's that corrupt, nothing's really going to change, unfortunately. But anyway, guys, that's enough of that little rant. I'll bring you back and I'll show you what I might be doing in the camp, and well, I'll show you what I'm going to be doing in the camp, and just a few other bits and pieces. So I'll bring you back in a minute, guys. Okay guys, I thought I'd show you around camp, show how the shelter's looking. I don't know if you can see that in there, guys, because it's a bit dark, but there's a bit of water penetration coming through just in that area there. So let's have a go. So that's one side, go across there. Yeah, so it's just there, so I just need to top it up a little bit, but in general it's done pretty good. Take you around. That's me rucksack I'm using today. See that? I got that rucksack from Springfield a couple of years ago. It's worked a treat. I mean, it only cost me about £15, so reduced down to from 45, and I thought, well, that's a steal, that is. I don't know what the specifications are, guys, to be honest with you, because I never looked. But yeah, this, as you can see, the shelter. Actually, all the bright green foliage has started to go. It's starting to blend in a bit more now. So I'm definitely have to top that covering up. Yeah, but it's getting there, guys. It's getting there, I must admit. I'm very pleased with it. And we had some decent winds the other day as well, and it's stopped up, so I'm very happy about that. But one of the projects I'm going to do today, I'll show you. It's just down here. Because we're quite lucky because the shelter's quite elevated, so it's not going to flood or anything like that. But what I need to do, sort out another gypsy well close to the camp. If you look here, that's where I'm going to sort out the gypsy well. In fact, what I'm going to do is probably just clear the area, dig a bit of a pit, and see how we get on. Cut back some of these brambles, maybe make like a little bit of a jetty. Might just cut back here a little bit. I've brought a spade with me, so just easier access to get down to. But the original one I did for the previous video is just down here. And as you can see, that's full. The trouble is, it's just a bit too small. It was a bit more difficult to get to, so I thought I had a scout up and down. I thought that up here would be a better location so you have to source the water from. Less chance of me falling in. So there we have it, guys. That's one of the projects to do today. Oh, I thought I'd show you the gear I've used today. Let's face it, we all love a little bit of gear pulling every now and again. So that's I've got my Gransfors Brooks axe, my little pruning shears, got my foldable saw at the top, and in the middle is the Apocabox multi-tool that I've had for many years now. And like I said, the collapsible shovel in the back that you can get from more or less anywhere, eBay, Amazon, you know, any automotive place usually sells them, like for emergency kits and stuff like that. So this is my gear, guys. Okay then guys, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to clear back some of these brambles and sticks and bits and pieces, any foliage or any greenery. Just get all that out of the way first, and then I can assess what I'm going to do to dig it out and stuff. And what I've got to show you off camera, I've got a couple of little snips. And my foraging snips, you know, just cut anything back that needs to be cut back and then go from there, because sometimes it's better than tearing it out. You can just cut it off at source. As you can see, I've cleared it all up now. I'm going to use my little foldable shovel. And this is just a rescue shovel, an automatic one we stick in your car, digging yourself out, 15 quid, bargain really. The pouch is the ex-US military one, and then there's a £5 also from Springfields. I'll show you that, see if you can see that. So it's been used before, I've used it in other videos. So what I'm going to do is probably just dig out a section here, clear out some of this, and see how we venture. So there's a couple of tree roots around here, guys. Right, last I've got my little hand saw. I'll just use that. Cut back any roots that get in the way. Because we've got an old stump just underneath the camera. So I'm trying to avoid cutting roots on this live tree here, this birch. What I'll do, guys, I'll bring you back once I've done this out, and you can see how the water's flowed into it and where we're going to go from there. Okay, you see what I've done, how much I've dug out. What I'll do, I'll let that settle now, and then come back about an hour or so, sorry, and see how we've gotten on. Now, like I say, this water source isn't going to be drinkable straight off. I'm going to have to filter this, and I'm also going to have to disinfect it to make it drinkable. But it's a start. We'll leave that to settle, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so this is the Gypsy well after an hour. It is settling, but it's settling very slowly. I don't know if you can, it might be hard to pick it up on the camera, but if you can see where the top of the debris is, you can see how clear it is, how clear it's starting to get, just under the water level. So it is settling down, but it's just going to take a bit of time, that's all with this. So it might be the case that with this source I may have to, let's say, run it through a millbank bag or a brown bag, just to filter out a bit more of the sediment and that, and then disinfect it that way, either by using my filter or boiling it, depending on the time. But at least we're set up now. It's easy access to get to, so that's one job ticked off the list for the camp, which I'm happy about. Yeah, I am looking forward to an overnighter when we can get out. So do a bit more work on the shelter and we'll be good to go. So the next little project I want to do is turn this fallen tree into just a basic seat. I can put into my shelter just on the edge so I can tend the fire, somewhere to sit comfortably. So all I'm going to do really is cut it about there, just level this bit off, and then essentially lift this up and shove a log under it in there. So it's pretty just a stable platform. I'm not going to lash it together or anything like that, because it's going to be one of those things where I just want to move it, or I can get rid of it if it rots out, or one thing or another. So what I've got, like I say, I've got me Grandfather's Brooks axe, I've got me little folding saw, and I've got my little hatchet that I take with me, a bushcraft kit. Now the good thing about this is that I can turn this into a chisel. I don't know if you can see that there. What I do, I undo them screws and essentially turn the blade round and then put the screws back in, so then it can act like a wood chisel then for carving out. Right. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to cut I'm going to put in a stop cut here, stop cut about there, and then I'm just basically going to chisel all this off. The trouble with wet wood, you sort of has a tendency to bind when you're cutting through. Oh, tougher than I thought that was. Let's put that to one side and just unscrew this. Okay guys, this is going to take a bit of time, but I'll bring you back and show you the hatchet once I'm done. Okay, there we have it guys. Let's flip the blade round, put the screws in. One's hasn't gone in properly, so I'll just have to adjust that in a bit. But in general, that's it. And like I said, don't you see on the end, let's get that there. It's got a beveled end like a chisel. So when you're doing this, guys, what you do, you want to take off little and often, really. Instead of taking great big chunks out, just take a little bit off the top so you don't put your tools under any strain. Because there is that tendency just to whack away at it and hope for the best to get as much out as possible, as quick as possible. But sometimes that can be detrimental. Sometimes also when you come across knots, it's going to be harder to get through, so you might just have to use a bit more brute force, and ignorance can win the day. So what I'll do, I'll treasure the rest of this out, make it reasonably flat, and then I'll bring you back, guys. Okay, so I've created my flat surface, enough for my bum to sit on. Another way to do it, if you haven't got like a little wood chisel, is to get your saw and cut little stop lines all the way up, like that, all the way up, so you've got little grooves in it. And then you can get your axe, and then you can tap them out that way, and they'll all come loose. And then what you can do to level it off, you can get your axe and just chamfer them off, slice them off like that. And it might be a bit more bumpy up and down, but you can do it that way. A little bit of practice, a little bit of skill. I say it's all about practicing your skills and that. So now what I'm going to do, now I've got my seat reasonably done, all I'm going to do is cut it, I think about there, cut that right through, and then that's basically the start of my seat. And like I say, I'll move it into place, and then we'll go from there. Now the trick is, when you're using the saw, is allow the blade to do the work. Don't try and force it. If you force it, you're going to have an accident. So just allow the blade to cut through. So you're not using up all your energy as well. Like I say, this wood's really wet, and it's not an ideal saw to cut something through this size. But we'll get there. So I'll cut through this and then I'll bring you back again. Okay, so finally I've got through it. Thank God for that, because it was a lot harder than I thought. That little saw, the wood was just too wet and just kept binding all the time, even with me taking the pressure off the joint to stop it closing up. It just wasn't going through, so I had to hack away at it with my axe. So what we're going to do now, I'm saying this is the basic seat, to be honest with you. We'll put some support under here, or just some logs under, a log under here, keep it up, get it into place, and job done. So like I say, I'm going to move this to the edge of the cabin, because like I say, that's why I've got a bit of overhang, so I can sit under there, be able to tend the fire and that, and not to worry. So yeah, great. Okay, and there we have it, guys. One simple seat. I mean, I could have made a bushcraft chair, but then again it wouldn't fit under the shelter. So I thought, I've got the resources right here. I thought I'd use them up, get them done. Now we've got a bit of firewood I can chop down, I said I'm under the shelter and my fire here, job's a good one. Well, thank God it's finally brew time. I'm absolutely gasping. So I've got my trusty Pathfinder kit again. I got my firebox again today. Somewhere. Ah, yeah. And I've got some Taylor's hot Java lava. You gotta love a bit of coffee. Rocket fuel for the soul. A couple of them. Don't think I'm doing anything too bushcrafty today to start off with. I think I'm just going to use one of the Pathfinder discs. Like my fire kit. And use a bit lighter to light it because I'm just being a bit lazy today, to be honest with you. And if you've seen these, I'll show you up close. Oh, they're just an impregnated disc. I've used them before, and it's cotton infused with petroleum, I think, petroleum jelly. And to be honest, they're really good. I mean, I have to let's get that going. And there we have it. And that'll burn for minutes. Stick that in there. I'll do its work. I say not too much of a rush because I know that'll burn for minutes. I'm not in a survival situation, so I've got more if it goes out. Pack away anything that I don't need. Leave that there. Oh, you can't beat the smell of a fire. Oh, burning wood. I do love this cup because I know exactly 500ml, put 2 tea bags in there, 2 coffee bags in there, job's a good one. Put my lid on. I do like a firebox though. Sometimes I don't like having open. I just have I like nice having. I don't put my teeth back in. I just like having a nice little fire, controlled fire. Nothing to worry about. Just to be honest, when I come out here, I just enjoy the peace and quiet. To be honest, you can't beat it. Just get away from society. No, I don't dislike people. I just enjoy my own company. To be honest, and I think that's what the problem is nowadays. A lot of people can't even enjoy their own company. They always feel like they have to be with somebody or be out and about or doing something just instead of just relaxing. Like with this virus that's been going about, I've really enjoyed being locked down because I've been able to concentrate on my hobbies, like say a lot of reading, a lot of artwork, you know, a lot of research into bushcraft and prepping, especially a lot more prepping. I mean, I really enjoy my bushcraft though, getting out. I just enjoy nature, to be honest with you. I think that's sort of the biggest thing. Like I say, it's not for everybody. People need, like I say, I think a lot of large portion of society needs distractions in life. You know, distract them from their own thoughts, you know, their own problems, instead of sometimes sitting down and just thinking of the bigger picture around your problem. Look at it from different point of views, you know, and go from there really, and then just break it down. You know, you look at the problem, you think, well, this is the issue. How did I get to this issue, and how can I solve the issue? You know, whether that's talking with friends, or talking to professionals, or researching online, different ways to get out, say financial situations, or one thing and another. Many ways to solve issues. Sometimes solving issues is hard work, and I think that's what some people might be scared of. It's hard work, and the fear. Sometimes fear as well. That can be a big factor. Fear of the unknown. I mean, I remember when I first did my first wild camp, I was really nervous about doing it. But I thought, you know what, I love getting outside, and I'm going to do it. So I looked at, you know, in my local area, what the wildlife was. What's the sounds of wildlife of a night time? That's another big thing, because when you hear a deer bark for the first time, you wonder, what the hell's that? You know, it can be really unnerving. But if you've researched into it and you know what's going on, you know what it is, you think, I'm not too worried, you know what that is. You know. And because we live in a sterile environment where we're not exposed to nature, it's another thing, it's the unknown, it's a fear, again, another fear of not knowing. But I applaud people that go out and do stuff that scares them, you know. They think, well, I love doing that. It scares me to go and do it. Like going to new groups for the first time, not knowing anybody. I mean, me personally, I loved doing stuff by myself for the first time. Like I went to the bushcraft show loads of years ago, and I went by myself. Didn't know anybody, wasn't expecting to meet anybody or anything like that, or what have you. But when I got there was a load of lads already parked up, and I thought I got up early to go, but these had even beaten me. And I ended up chatting to them, and the next thing you know, I'm spending all the weekend with them. We're out having a drink and a laugh and a joke, and they're telling stories, and it just was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So taking that first step to get through the fear, to do it, and the whole world opens up to you sometimes. Oh, the seat is spot on. Trouble is today, everything's just that little bit too damp today. unfortunately. But, oh well, say la vie. It is what it is. So good bed of embers going. See what happens. Airflow in that. One thing I won't mind getting though is the Petromax firebox. It's a quite substantial. Sorry, you could class it as like a barbecue box, just like that's what the these are really. I wouldn't mind getting that. Might get that because I know if the bushcraft show opens, I'll be going again and decide whether to stop over, sleep over for the weekend, or whether to just go on day trips out. But the organisers, I must admit, are brilliant. They're really good. I met them a couple of years ago. I think when we did a bushcraft video on alpha prepping, we got introduced to them then, and they were a really good group. I think some of the people have changed now. Obviously, people move on, going to do different things and whatever. But yeah, brilliant, really friendly crowd I found. Down to earth. I'd recommend to anybody going to the show actually. It is a bit commercialised, but that's the way things go, isn't it? They start off small and kind of a unique, but as people get more interest, people start going, then you get more companies that are interested. So inevitably it grows into a bigger thing. Like as it might have been before, just a couple of, individual stores and that, but now you're getting the big names going. The bushcraft store, that's always good. Like Petromax go, they get like people like Ray Mears. I mean, Ed Stafford was meant to be this year, and he was there last year as well. So yeah, I mean, you've had Dave Canterbury go, which I was well chuffed about when I met Mr. Canterbury himself. Lovely guy. I took my kids, and he was great with them. He really interacted with them. I mean, and he cares. He's one of the blokes that really does care, because I remember being there one year and he was doing a talk, and it was a paid talk. But like I say, lucky enough, we were invited to come see this talk and that. And people that are in there didn't have tickets were asked to just go outside and watch on the big screen. Which they did. I mean, people comply, people understandable and that, And then all of a sudden it started hammering it down. I mean, absolutely hammering it down. And Dave stopped his talk and told everybody, come inside. It's ridiculous. Told them all to come inside. And Andrew goes, if I have to pay for them to come in. Just come inside. And it's quite funny, actually. The organisers didn't know what to do. They were like, right. Oh. Yeah, but he was a good guy, I must admit. Nothing was ever too much trouble. It's unfortunate that it had some really bad events happen to him. He had his house burnt down a couple of weeks ago. I mean, he's really going through the mire, but he's still out there working, still showing it. Yeah, but you feel for someone. He's lost. I say he's got his property, the lands, but he's lost his home and all the things that make a home, like his pictures, all those memories that were there in that home, all the keepsakes and all that stuff that can't be replaced. I say off grandkids and our own children and all that kind of thing. So you really feel for him. Epic fail that little bit was. Let's try it again. And this is the thing with YouTube and that, you know, you only ever see the good bits, really. The same with Instagram, you see all the how things should be. You know, people do bow drills straight off, and people like saying they'll do all this stuff straight off straight away, and it's not like that at all, to be honest with you. There's lots of retakes. There's lots of mistakes made that you don't see, you know. And I was also looking for inspiration for new videos, because a lot of people do that. You do all the kind of in the community, we do like the same stuff, just copy other people, and then we see other people's ideas, and then we research it into ourselves, and then maybe we look into other videos and think, well, we like that to that, and like this about that video, that information tells me this, or that book tells me this, and so well, I'll incorporate that, and then you just cut and edit all together. The one thing I have found is that everybody does stuff their own way. You know, there's not just one way to do something, and I love that. You know, that people don't think, right, well, I don't have the dexterity to do this, or I don't have the strength to do this, so I'll try it this way, or actually I feel more comfortable doing it one way than the way people have said. And you know, all these things make up your own individual skill set, you know. But as long as you're enjoying it and you get the end result that you're meant to, then there's no issue as far as I'm concerned, you know. I mean, I know I need to improve on my skill sets. You know, there are certain things that I need to do, work on, things like that. Like knots is my biggest thing. It's one of those things I just can't seem to get my head around. I have to do some basic knots, but I don't know, it's just one of them things you just think, well, this thing I need to work on, keep practicing on. Because not everybody knows everything. Well, there are you know, some people out there that do know everything. I'll leave it at that. I think I won't elaborate on that anymore, because they could just open there. You open that trap door, see what comes out. Bloody smoke. I was about to do the outro then. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Just a bit of insight what we're going to be doing in the future is, like I say, camping out here, doing a few other bits, cut. Yeah, I hope you liked the video, guys. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If you want to share, it'd be top drawer. If you want to subscribe, it'd be even better, because we're not far off 1,500 subscribers, and if you could subscribe, it would be brilliant. It could be quite a milestone for us, and if we hit the milestone, there's going to be like a giveaway, so that's a bit of an incentive to say thank you to everybody that has watched, liked, commented, subscribed, shared, all the stuff that's involved in it. Yeah, so there'll be a giveaway given. Cut. That's it. We're all done for this video, guys. If you want to give us a thumbs up, it'd be brilliant. Sorry about the smoke. Bloody drink. But if you can give us a thumbs up, and give us a like. No, cut. Bloody smoke. Bloody smoke. Okay, guys. That's the end of that video. Sorry about the smoke. It's typical, isn't it? I've moved the camera from there to there, and the smoke's following me around. That's a bit better. So yeah, so if you'd like to give us a thumbs up, guys, it'd be brilliant. Subscribe would be even better. If you want to share it on all your social medias, it'd be brilliant. But yeah, if you want to subscribe, would be absolutely fantastic, because we're literally a couple off reaching 1,500 subscribers, and if you could, it would be brilliant. So I'll be making a video to say thank you for everybody that has watched, has liked, has shared, has done all the stuff that tries to promote this channel. And the next video, when I say a thank you, there'll be a giveaway as well. I don't know what the giveaway will be yet, but we'll put one into practice. Like I say, we used to do a few when we first started, and it's been a while, so we thought, well, it's that time we give back to the people that gave to us. Anyway, guys, stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next one.